Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday morning here. It's good to see you back with us. Sorry about yesterday. We had kind of a rough day yesterday. We actually had to put our dog down and had a lot of just life's curveballs thrown at us yesterday. But it's good to be back with you. Today we're going to be in Psalm chapter 16 today. And what a beautiful psalm it is. We really, as we enter into this psalm, we really want to talk about and focus on God's grace for us and really living in that grace, even through life's circumstances and the curveballs that they do throw at us. We have to realize that God's grace is more than sufficient for us. So we'll be right in Psalm chapter 16, verse 2, starting here. He says, to Yahweh, you are my Lord. I have nothing good beside you. Now, he really focuses on the Lord in this whole chapter. This whole psalm is just dedicated to the magnificence of God. And he says in verse 5, Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. You hold my future. The boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. He goes on to say in verse 7, I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, my conscience instructs me. I keep the Lord in my mind always because he is at my right hand. I will not be shaken. And to be honest, sometimes it's hard for us to rely on God's grace instead of ourselves. Oftentimes we think that we have to grab control over our lives and that responsibility is shaping our future is in our hands and our hands alone. When troubles come, therefore, we resist them instead of depending on God. We try to depend on ourselves, and that's actually the worst case scenario because we are insufficient in doing so. Paul, when he had a thorn in his side, he begged God to intervene. In verse 9 of chapter 12 of 2 Corinthians, Paul states that God told him that his grace, the Lord's grace, is sufficient enough for him to see him through. And he really depended on that. And what a great way for us to reflect into that. And I ask that you reflect and see if God's grace is sufficient for you as well, even through trying times. I just want you to know that I love you. I can't wait to see you again. Remember to love God and love people. We'll see you tomorrow.